What is a scary or horrifying fact that shouldn't be true, but is? Snails have thousands of teeth. There is more actual lemon juice in lemon-scented pledge spray than there is in County Time lemonade. So that's why it tastes better. All of these comments will be read by a robotic voice and played on YouTube. This will also cause many students to procrastinate by listening to that video. This comment will be edited out of the video. And this one. Also, just in case it wasn't clear, this isn't a robotic voice, so haha, I got you, commenter who called me out. In the NT, Australia, I remember seeing a government warning that crocodiles inhabit the area. Among the few bullet points of advice on the sign, the last one read, "If they see you, it is already too late." Every single year, there are thousands of the people in the US alone who disappear. Most of them show up again, usually the next day, but sometimes a few days, a few weeks, or even a few months later. However, out of these thousands of people, there are roughly 150 people every single year who disappear and simply never appear again. Nobody knows what has happened to those people. They might be dead, they might not be. We simply don't know. There's a map of the US that floats around social media a lot that shows the US's underground cave systems and overlays it with mysterious disappearances of hikers. It's pretty eerie how closely they match up. Over 150 dead bodies of climbers are still on Mount Everest. Isn't there a dead body that no one can identify that's simply known as green boots or something? I recall watching or reading something that he's been up there since like 1997. There are more Panda Express locations in the world than actual panda bears. A lone pilot was flying in Australia in 1978. He reported to air traffic control that he was accompanied by an aircraft above him. When asked to identify the aircraft, he replied, "It isn't an aircraft." His plane disappeared and was never to be found again. Pigs can dispose of a body with relative ease. Actually, pigs will eat everything except the teeth. Lobsters, on the other hand, will dispose of the whole body. If a person gets bitten by an animal who has rabies, they will continue to live a normal life for 12 weeks, and after the symptoms develop, there is no way they're making it out alive. You know you're gonna die. Longest reported case of rabies incubation was 25 years. Oh my god. Fatal insomnia. I learned it from this other post, and I hope I get to sleep tonight. TIL, that there is a condition called fatal insomnia, where people one day can no longer fall asleep and eventually die due to lack of sleep. One of the experiments the Japanese did during World War II at Unit 731 was cutting off limbs of living, waking people without anesthesia and sewing those limbs onto other prisoners. They also infected male prisoners with various infectious diseases, then forced them at gunpoint to rape pregnant prisoners to see if the disease would transmit to the baby. Fun fact! Fun fact, everyone! Researchers from Unit 731 were given immunity by the US in exchange for knowledge gained from their experiments. The Soviets tried 12 for war crimes. The accounts of victims from the trial and elsewhere were labeled as communist propaganda. Nice. They also put people in decompression chambers to see the effects on the human body. I believe they also cut off limbs of prisoners after giving them frostbite to see if they felt pain. Some monks used to endure a spiritual practice whereby they eliminated all of their body fat through diet and exercise, ate wood liqueur tea to kill off internal bacteria, then sealed themselves in a tomb holding a string attached to a bell. A year after the bell stopped ringing, the tomb was opened, and if the monk's body was found to be uncorrupted, they were revered as a saint. If not, they were reburied. The process took years, and as they continued, the monks required more and more help from their brothers until they entered the tomb. And the whole time you'd hear bells ringing from the nearby tombs as the monks inside slowly wound down the last days of their lives, voluntarily poisoned, starved, and burned alive for a chance at sainthood. The sperm whale is the loudest creature on Earth at 230 decibels. Like louder than all the other stuff that humans get up to. The Tsar Bomba, the loudest explosion ever detonated by humanity, was 6 decibels quieter at 224. Sperm whales can produce sound waves so powerful it can kill you. Though apparently they have been known to use their inside voices around human divers. How nice. They whisper around us so they don't hurt us. How about that? Dylan Klebold, one of the killers of the Columbine massacre, attended the school's prom 3 nights before the shooting. When he got home, he was talking to his mom and showed her the flask he'd brought to the prom, explaining that they'd only drank a little bit. He told her, "I just wanted you to know that you can trust me." It's so chilling that he could say that and then less than 72 hours later participate in the killing of 13 other people and himself. What's even more frightening is that Columbine was really a failed bombing. They intended to blow up the entire school with propane bombs. Fortunately, none of them detonated. 60% of murders are unsolved here in Pakistan. We simply don't have the technology and training of the police officers in the West. Laughs in Brazilian. Cries in South African. Khaled El-Masri is a German and Lebanese citizen who was mistakenly abducted by the Macedonian police in 2003 and handed over to the US CIA. While in CIA custody, he was flown to Afghanistan, where he was held at a black site and routinely interrogated, beaten, strip-searched, sodomized, and subjected to other cruel forms of inhumane and degrading treatment and torture. After El-Masri held hunger strikes and was detained for 4 months in the salt pit, the CIA finally admitted his arrest and torture were a mistake and released him. He is believed to be among an estimated 3,000 detainees whom the CIA abducted from 2001 to 2005. In May 2004, the U.S. ambassador to Germany, Daniel R. Coates, convinced the German Interior Minister, Otto Schlee, not to press charges or to reveal the program. El-Masri filed suit against the CIA for his arrest. Extraordinary rendition and torture. In 2006, his suit El-Masri versus Tenet, in which he was represented by the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, was dismissed by the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia, based on the U.S. government's claiming the state's secret privilege. The ACLU said that the Bush administration attempted to shield its abuses by invoking this privilege. The case was also dismissed by the Appeals Court for the Fourth Circuit, and in December 2007, the United States Supreme Court declined to hear the case. On 13th of December 2012, El-Masri won an Article 34 case at the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. The court determined he had been tortured while held by CIA agents and ruled that Macedonia was responsible for abusing him while in the country, knowingly transferring him to the CIA when torture was a possibility. It awarded him compensation, which was just about nothing. This marked for the first time that CIA activities against detainees was legally declared as torture. The European Court condemned nations for collaborating with the United States in these secret programs. Something is eating the Milky Way galaxy. No, it isn't the plot for a Star Trek episode, it's really happening. In 2009, researchers found a cluster of galaxies moving at an extraordinary speed towards a small patch of sky between the constellations of Centaurus and Vela. Some unknown force is tearing away chunks of the galaxy, and astronomers still have no clue what exactly is causing it. It's been named Dark Flow. There is something big out there, far bigger than anything in our known universe. Such a behemoth would impose a kind of tilt on the universe, causing matter to move in one particular direction, as observations of the dark flow suggest. Could be anything, up to and including another universe. It's called the Great Attractor. Damn, is they single? Yes, but you have to compete with the entire universe. Good luck. When you get a sunburn, your cells are dying to avoid becoming cancerous. Aw, little buddy's taking one for the team. Good job, little dudes. The actual scientific cure for hiccups is anal massaging, and it works. How do you know this? Google fired 2 of their leaders in the AI ethics teams for publishing articles about dangers of an AI Google support. Thank you for watching, and if you've made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing. Have a good day. Goodbye.